Okay, sixth graders. All right, this is the next lesson, lesson 17. And lesson 17, um, in this lesson, I'm going to teach you to go from motif to theme, which theme is the message. If you look at the little handy paper I have here, you can see theme, all right, is in the message. All right, and that's kind of like a little quick trick way to remember what theme is. I like to think about it as like a target where the author is headed the entire time they're telling the story because they're trying to make this point. You know, they want you to learn this particular message, and sometimes it is a lesson as well. All right, so just to recap what we did in the previous lesson, we were using the story The Fight, and we had a traits list for Will, and one of those traits was confidence. And if we followed confidence in that traits list, all right, we chose that as the one to follow, then evidence for the beginning, middle, of the end was used. And then when we looked at that evidence, we could see the problem or focus was change. And that was the motif. All right. Change was the motif, the overall concept. All right. So if we go to change and we're looking for a theme, and again, these are not every one that you could choose, but it's a nice list to either kickstart your thinking or even possibly to use. So it really makes me think that this author, he really wanted to get across to us that popularity is short-lived in lots of things. And in this case, because of Will's confidence, and how he had too much confidence in the beginning, he almost became stuck up, and you knew that eventually somebody wasn't going to put up with that. All right, so if I'm looking through these, I think probably I could either choose the message, people are afraid of change, but things always change, because Will was certainly afraid of losing his spot there in the limelight or the popularity. Or maybe also knowledge can help us prepare for the future, because he's now got knowledge that he can't behave like that anymore. It's not working for him. All right, so that's the theme I might go through. Now, also, you were to watch the video for Taylor Swift before you actually got to this lesson. It was the first thing to do. And so let's go through. Make sure I've got my papers here. Actually do it like this. All right, so we're going to do this now for Taylor Swift in the video. And if I were to choose some traits for Taylor, all right, I would say she's shy, she's resilient, which means she bounces back, like she doesn't let life get her down. And I think she's brave to go on to that dance, and to kind of go up against this other gal that likes her neighbor. How do I know this? All right, she's trying on these different outfits. She has on a band costume. She feels like she's invisible. And then she shows up at the dance dressed up. So that shows me she's brave. It shows me she's resilient. Because she kind of stays to her room so much, that's why I think shy. And she uses the signs to communicate her message. But the word I decided, resilient, that she can bounce back, I think that, let me refocus here. I think that is the biggest deal that affects creates the motif and then the theme. So I decided that the motif here is being yourself. You have to be yourself. She shows us. Doesn't matter what else is going on. You have to be yourself. And if I want to take that a step further and say, okay, what was the point here of her being herself? It wasn't easy. She had to go through a lot to get to that point where she would go to that dance and kind of stand up for herself. So I think the theme is it's hard to be yourself with all of the different pressures around her, the guy, the other girl, the people at the dance who are all of her classmates. But she goes in there anyway and deals with it. And it's hard to be yourself is the theme. And that's the point of theme. Now, if you're having a little trouble thinking about moving from motif to theme, ask yourself this. What big lessons do characters learn about this motif? What lessons are they learning? What big lessons do characters teach about this motif? She's resilient. She teaches, you should still make a comeback. You should still try to bounce back from it. Is there an overarching message or moral the story suggests about this motif? Something bigger. And last, are there hidden messages or lessons the story suggests about this motif? All right, so those are all ideas to help you go from the motif to the theme. All right, and you can always refer to this handout. It's in the folder on this particular lesson. All right, so work your way through, all right, figuring out the motif and then the theme. And I would continue from your motif, or on the previous lesson, it may not have been yesterday, but from lesson 16, think about your motif and then carry it a step further. What would be the theme? What would be the message? And that's your work for today. Signing off.